So per your recommendation, which is one of those bitchy things people say in emails. So per your last email.
As per our last conversation.
But per your recommendation, I downloaded the Pattern app.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so like I was not prepared for the attack that happened when I started reading through my patterns.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, I do what?
This is resonating. This like it was
in a good way.
No, although when it like I feel it like it talks about your patterns, and then like there's a section that talks about like your future patterns, and I was like, oh, okay, 2021 is looking actually really good for me. Like there's some good stuff that apparently is coming my way. But when I was going through my patterns, I was like, fucking A, yeah, that is me in relationships. Yeah, that is me with romance. Yeah, that is me. And I was like, how do they do that with like my birthday? And
I don't know. It's all sorts of witchy magic.
It really is. And mine was spot on, like truly spot on. Is yours spot on?
Spot on.
Oh my God.
And they called all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Have you punched Corey into the system yet? And got?
I haven't.
Listen,
but
don't.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just let it all be a surprise. Because you'll start going, was that it? Is that the big reveal? That's what happened to us. That's what happened to us. I was like,
really?
We're not having any struggles. This is ridiculous. And then sure enough, she's like, actually, there is this thing that I wanted to talk to you about. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like there was some like, I wouldn't say like rough patches, but like things that had to get worked out. And it totally called it. It said, these are some things that are going to come up in your relationship with Ashley. And so I was like, that doesn't seem, we're both therapists for crying out loud.
Yeah, right.
And, but sure enough, it called it, and it's called 2020.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The thing that it said about 2020 in the world pattern was, there has not been this type of energy in the world in the last 700 years.
You had talked to me about that a couple weeks ago, and it has been something that like I've read about since then, because I was like, that makes sense. That it makes sense that there's this other worldly, I guess, thing that's happening that is affecting our energies. But yeah, I was
affecting our energies, and I was like, let's
yes.
They've been affected.
Yes, 100%. And so when I filled out my information on and literally like, it was funny because I was texting my mom and I was like, Mom, when was I born? And she's like, what is this for?
That's what they always went. I was like, why do you need to know that?
What's going on?
It's some like veiled fear that you're gonna like find out how shitty they were as parents.
Right. That's true. That's probably true.
Have you ever told any of them that you've gone to therapy?
Oh, my mom knows I go to therapy. Yeah. But like, here's the thing. My mom's not the fucking problem. Like, let's put that on YouTube.
Yeah. She's not the offending parent.
No,
but
my mom's great.
Yeah. When I told my mom that I was going to therapy those many years ago, it was like, well, why? What for? What do you mean? What's going on? What are you doing? What is that? Is everything okay? Take it easy.
Yeah. Well,
none of your shit's going to come out for about another 20 years. So
you got time. You got
Yeah.
time to wrap your head around this.
Yeah. I'm going to get you for a bit.
Well, I do remember distinctly like going to my mom when I was a kid and being like, Mom, I'm depressed. Like, I've read about this, heard about this in school. I think I'm depressed. And she goes, You're not depressed. You're just having a bad day. Like, you just pick yourself up, and whatever. But she was also the person who was like, we don't have mental illness in our family. Fast forward 20 years, and she's dealing with a lot of family stuff, and it's like there's bipolar, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's and it's like, okay, all right. Yeah. But so she shared that information with me so that I could like fill out the pattern thing. And I was like reading through it, and I had to take a break. Like, it tells you like, this is your pattern, and then go deeper. And I went deeper once, and I was like, okay, that's enough for today.
It's back out.
Too deep. Too deep.
Incidentally, real quick, just an aside on, and this is another thing we could talk about at some point, but there is this aspect that marriage and family therapy, the type of therapy that I'm actually licensed in, they co-opted this thing from the medical model, and essentially what it is, they call it a genogram, and this is what some doctors would do to look at illnesses that have trended in your family. Well, marriage and family therapists have co-opted this family tree of sorts to look at different things that have trended in your family, like mental illness, as for instance. But they also do it to look at strengths that have that might trend in your family. Here we go.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, and so you can do someone's genogram for them, and immediately they will, more often than not, go, oh, here's the crazy, here's divorce, here's family cutoff. It tracks all of that.
Yep.
And then what I would do is then say, but let's also look at all of these other things. Like, for instance, look at all of the women, as just an example, who were educated, way back in the day, 3 or 4 generations back. All the women in your family had college educations. That's an amazing thing. And so we can look at different strengths that also trend in your family. So an interesting little side dish of therapy that we don't ever hear about.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Like, we don't talk about the good stuff. We talk about the bad stuff we inherited, but not all of the important good stuff that made it so that we can work through the bad stuff, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. So
yeah, so like and subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell, which is right down here somewhere, so you get updated when we post new videos.
Right on.